September 18, 2022. In Thiruvananthapuram, a 31-year-old auto rickshaw driver named Anup is checking his lottery ticket. He's been buying Kerala's lottery ticket for 22 years now. In all those 22 years, the most he has ever won is 5,000 rupees. He's been preparing to leave for Malaysia to work as a chef there, and just one day before, his 3 lakh personal loan was approved. But this Sunday morning, Anup checks the ticket and he can't believe his eyes because he has just won 25 crore rupees, the Onam bumper prize, the Kerala's biggest state lottery prize in history. His family hugs him, his phone keeps ringing non-stop, all the TV channels reach his doorstep within hours, and people call him the king. For one day, Anup feels like his life has changed forever, and it has, but not in the way you think. Within a week, Anup is hiding. He has changed his house 3 whole times. People from across South India are coming to his door demanding money from him. Local TV channels are interviewing the strangers who are abusing him on camera, demanding that he return the prize money to the government. And he could not even go to his sister's family in Trivandrum because threats are coming for his family from everywhere. And then Anup says something to a journalist that goes viral within hours. I really wish that I had not won. This is not just Anup's story, this is the story of almost every big Indian lottery winner in the last 25 years. The 25 crore winner who went into hiding, the first KBC crorepati Sushil Kumar, who lost almost everything, then the Tamil Nadu daily wage labourer who killed his own wife and then killed himself because of a Kerala lottery ticket. So today, let's understand why winning the lottery in India is one of the worst things that can happen to a poor person. And more importantly, let's understand who is actually getting rich from this entire system. To understand Anup's story, you need to understand the system he is stuck in. Kerala has been running the state lottery since 26 January 1968. The first ticket costed 1 rupee and the first prize was 50,000 rupees. Kerala prints 1.8 crore lottery tickets every single day. 7 weekly lotteries, 6 annual bumper lotteries, 55,414 authorized agents, 1.5 lakh retailers. As per the Prince reporting, roughly 1 in 3 Keralites buys a lottery ticket every single day. Between April 2021 and December 2024, Kerala's lottery sales touched 41,138 crore. Imagine 41,000 crore rupees, that's the kind of amount we are talking about. But here's what nobody's telling you on TV. When you actually win, the very system that just made you rich is also designed to break you. There are 3 reasons for it. Reason number 1, tax. In India, Section 194B of the Income Tax Act takes a flat 30% TDS on lottery winnings, and there are no Section 80C deductions for you, no basic exemptions and no slab benefit. On top of it, you have to pay 4% cess also. That's totally 31.2%. For prices above 5 crore rupees, there's an additional 37% surcharge on the tax. On top of it, the lottery agent takes a 10% commission on top of everything. So when Anup wins 25 crore rupees, what does he actually get in his bank account? Roughly 12.88 crore rupees. Half of the money is gone before he even touches it. And Sushil Kumar, the first KBC crorepati who won 5 crore rupees in 2011, he did not take home 5 crore rupees. He actually got 3.5 crore rupees. And Mustafa, the 2017 Onam bumper winner, a van driver from Malappuram, won 10 crore rupees and he took home about 6.3 crore rupees. Reason number 2, forced publicity. In American states like Delaware, Maryland and Texas, lottery winners can stay anonymous if they want, but in India, technically you can stay anonymous, but in practice, that's almost impossible. The Kerala State Lottery Directorate's own deputy director has openly said, I'm quoting, "Publicity helps the department. Ticket numbers are published in the government gazette here in India. Names get leaked from the bank, and by evening, Malayalam channels like Asianet, Kairali, Jaihan are broadcasting your photo, your village, your face everywhere, and the next day morning, newspapers are printing your whole story." Anup did not choose publicity, the system chose it for him. And reason number 3, what I'm gonna call the flood. The Kerala's Lottery Directorate has openly stated that big winners receive on average 4,000 letters per day. Imagine 4,000 letters daily for medical bills, wedding bills, business loans, education loans, letters from strangers across India, petitions from distant relatives you have never even met in your life, religious people, rowdies are writing you letters. Now imagine you're an auto driver who has never had more than a few thousand rupees in your bank account at one time. You have no financial advisor for you have no lawyer. Now your father, your uncle, your wife's family, your cousin's wife's brother, everyone is calling you and everyone has a project. Everyone has some emergency. This is what happened to Anup as well. Because here's the thing, people making decisions about money based on what they feel rather than what they know. That's exactly the same pattern happens for this entire story. See, Anup in the beginning, he was an auto driver who's been buying tickets for 22 years. The daily wage laborer handing over 200 rupees of his earnings every single morning for a lottery ticket. Every one of them is making a financial decision in a state where the feeling is louder than the maths that they actually have to do. And honestly, all of us are doing this, especially with our money. You don't need to win a lottery ticket to feel it. Anyone who has tried to trade in stock market knows exactly what I'm talking about. The chart moves against you and your heart rate goes up and suddenly you are not making your decision based on logic anymore. You're making them based on what you feel. And on top of that, most retail traders are staring at complex charts they don't fully understand, trying to figure out what to do in seconds. And that's the problem that Bolt Trades by Lemon, our today's sponsor, is built to solve. Bolt is a SEBI-registered platform for options trading powered by AI. And here's what I actually like about it. Before you actually take any trade, you can check the accuracy, the win rate, and the past performance of any strategy right inside the app. And the strategies themselves are built by experienced traders. The AI watches the market for you, and the moment a setup is ready, Bolt AI instantly gives you the entry price, the target, and the stop loss. The final decision obviously is always yours. One click on the signal and the trade executes immediately. You don't have to guess, you don't have to overthink anything, you just get a clear plan on your chart. Download the Lemon app, link is in my description and in my pinned comment. Complete your KYC through my link and you will get a 1 month free of brokerage, and after that is just 10 rupees per order. And as always, please do your own research before you start trading. Now coming back to our story, just 1 year before Anup, another auto driver won the Onam bumper winner named Jayapalan, and he said this in an interview: find a way to ensure your family is secure. Many people will come seeking help. I have obviously helped a few, but it is not easy to help everyone, and a few of my relatives have turned against me because of that. Now Jayapalan is actually one of the rare positive examples of lottery winning. He paid off his loans, he bought 2 plots of land, he funded his wife's tumor treatment, he started a small dried prawns business with his son, and here's the most interesting part, that man still drives his auto even after winning 12 crore rupees. And Jayapalan's advice to Anup was very simple. I'm quoting him: go for a fixed deposit for at least 2 years and live a modest life. Even with all that, even Jayapalan's own son told in an interview that 1 full year after winning the lottery, people were still calling, still arriving at the door, still sending them threatening letters. Many of their relatives have turned against that family because Jayapalan could not help everyone. And that's the best case we are talking about. Now look at Mustafa, the 2017 winner who won 10 crore rupees, a van driver from Parapanangadi. 5 years later, a journalist goes to find him, and what they found was Mustafa is living alone, away from his family. He built a big house for his son and then allegedly destroyed its own windows and door during a family fight, and then the house is abandoned. He does not even want to talk to the journalist. The 2018 Onam bumper winner, whom journalists could only identify as Manoharan, had relatives camping outside his house for days and days on end. And another unnamed daily wage worker who warned his father quit his job, started a business he had no skill to run, and bought a vehicle he could not maintain and ended up in a complete debt. The family stabilized only when the children grew up and started earning years after that. And then there's a story that should haunt all of of us. April 2024, Pollachi, Coimbatore district in Tamil Nadu. A 65-year-old daily wage laborer named Kalimuthu had been spending the family's earnings on Kerala lottery tickets for years. His wife Rajeshwari fought with them constantly because of that, and she finally moved out to live with their daughter. Kalimuthu went to fetch her home, and that night he killed her in her sleep, and then he killed himself. See, Tamil Nadu has banned lottery tickets, but Kerala has not. So the addiction literally crossed the border. Now you might be thinking, okay, who is even buying these lottery tickets in the first place? What kind of person spends 200 rupees every single day on a lottery ticket? The answer is uncomfortable. As per the Prince reporting from Kochi, the typical Kerala lottery buyer is an auto driver or a migrant labourer from Assam, West Bengal or Andhra Pradesh, or a construction worker or a driver. Economist Dr. Joe Sebastian, who has studied the Kerala lottery economy for years, found something very interesting. Lottery sales are lower in Muslim majority areas like Malappuram, Kozhikode, Kasaragod and Wayanad because gambling is considered haram. Sales are lower in prosperous Christian areas also because the customer base is overwhelmingly poor Hindu daily wage workers and migrant people. D. Dhanuraj of the Center for Public Policy Research in Kochi puts it very bluntly. He calls Kerala's lottery system, I'm quoting, an invisible taxation regime. He says the state is indirectly taxing the public by popularizing the merits of lottery. Just think about what this exactly means. The poorest people in the country are funding the state government, and once in a while one of them wins, and when they win, the very same system breaks them. Now I want to tell you about a completely different story, not a Kerala lottery winner, but a KBC winner, because the same pattern shows up everywhere in India. In November 2011, Sushil Kumar, a computer instructor from Bihar, earning just 6,000 rupees per month, wins 5 crore rupees on Kaun Banega Crorepati, and Amitabh Bachchan calls him the real slumdog billionaire. And guess how much money that he took home after paying all the tax? 3.5 crore rupees. And what happens next? Sushil Kumar himself wrote about on Facebook in 2020. He said that after KBC, he became a philanthropist. He attended thousands of events in a single month. He gave away money to anyone who asked him. His wife told him repeatedly that he could not tell good people from bad. They fought constantly. He became addicted to alcohol and smoking. He went to Mumbai. He tried to enter Bollywood. He failed. In 2017, an English language journalist met him during a walk, and Sushil Kumar joked irritatedly that he was raising cows and selling milk. The journalist reported it as a fact. The headlines went wild. KBC's first crorepati now selling milk. All the invitation he used to get stopped overnight. But here's the redemption arc. Sushil used the silence to reset. He did his B.Ed in 2015. He cleared CTET. He cleared Bihar's STET. In 2023, 12 years after winning 5 crore rupees, he cleared BPSCTRE in 2 categories. Today, Sushil Kumar is a Bihar government school teacher of psychology. Salary around 45,000 rupees a month. He's enrolled in a PhD in psychology and environment. He runs a small coaching center for children of the marginalized Musahar caste. And here's the line I want you to remember very carefully. The net effect of 5 crore rupees on Sushil Kumar's actual life was arguably less transformative than passing the BPSC. Listen to that again. A government job at 45,000 rupees a month did more for him than that 3.5 crore rupees he won in a game show. And that tells you everything about how India is structured for sudden prize winners. So we have understood that kind of lottery winners get destroyed in India, but who is actually getting rich from all of this? Let me introduce you to Santiago Martin, a Coimbatore-based businessman, founder of Future Gaming and Hotel Services. The Indian press calls him the Lottery King. Between April 2019 and January 2024, Santiago Martin's company donated 1,368 crore rupees in electoral bonds. That makes him the largest electoral bond donor in India. 542 crore rupees went to TMC, 503 crore rupees went to DMK, 154 crore rupees to YSRCP, 100 crore rupees to BJP. Where did all this money come from? As per the public reports, Martin started a two-digit lottery business at the age of 13. By the 1990s, he had built an empire across Sikkim, Punjab, West Bengal, Maharashtra, and Northeast. And he's been simultaneously under the ED department, income tax, and CBI investigation for years and years on end. And what are the allegations? That he kept the prize winning tickets to himself without selling them to climb the top winning prizes. And there's a 910 crore Sikkim case alone, and there's money laundering and illegal cross-border lottery sales, and the list goes and goes on. The ED has attached over 600 crore worth of his assets. In November 2024, they seized 8.8 crore in cash from his properties. So while Anup is hiding in his sister's house, while Sushil is fighting with addiction, while Kalimuthu is killing his wife, one man has built an empire worth thousands of crores out of the same lottery industry, and he is funding our political parties. Now you tell me who really wins in the Indian lottery? See, I'm not saying ban lotteries. The Kerala government has a real argument for this. The lottery system gives livelihood to roughly 1 lakh elderly, disabled, and chronically ill ticket sellers across the state. The Karunya lottery directly funds healthcare for the poor people. These are some real benefits, but the system around the winner is kind of broken, and it's broken by design. 3 things need to change immediately. First, anonymity. India should give lottery winners a real legal right to stay anonymous. The Kerala Lottery Directorate openly admitting that publicity helps the department is unacceptable. The 2022 5 crore second prize Onam bumper winner actually kind of stayed anonymous, and reporters noted that approach was widely admired by the people. Second, mandatory financial counseling. Most Kerala bumper winners have never had a bank account in their life. To be fair, the Kerala government actually acknowledges gap. In February 2023, after Anup's video went viral, it kind of forced the issue. They launched one-day financial management training program for the winners through Gulati Institute of Finance and Taxation. And Anup was one of the first students, but this is just one state, one day, and only after a winner went viral with his suffering. But we need this nationally, and we need it to be more than one day. Third, and most important, treat lottery addiction as a public health issue, not a moral failing, not a personal weakness. Dr. Sanju George did a clinical study on this. He profiled a 28-year-old Kochi laborer who was spending initially 40 rupees a day on lottery tickets, and that escalated to 250 rupees a day on lottery tickets. He fell into debt and started ignoring his 2-year-old son. Imagine 2-year-old son. See, Dr. George's policy critic was kind of very sharp. I'm quoting, "As the state is the only agency that runs lotteries in Kerala, it only seems reasonable to argue that it has a responsibility to put in place measures to reduce gambling-related harm." See, Kalimuthu's wife begged him to stop it. He did not. He could not. And then she literally died for it. If this is not addiction, I don't know what else is. So what exactly are we taking away from all of this? The richest lesson I found in all my research came from Jayapalan's story, the 2021 Onam bumper winner. The auto driver who still drives his auto. He said something so simple but so wise. It's always better to invest in something that gives a steady income. We can use that income to help others, but not the prize money. By the way, Anup is doing something very interesting today. After months in hiding, he opened a lottery retail shop in Thiruvananthapuram with his brother. He is now arguably Kerala's only crorepati lottery agent. The man who was destroyed by the lottery has now become the man selling lottery tickets to other people. I genuinely don't know what to make out of that. Maybe it's the redemption, maybe it's irony, maybe it's the only thing he could do to feel some control again. But there's something I really want to leave you with. Every day in Kerala, 1.8 crore lottery tickets get printed. Most of them get bought by an auto driver in Thiruvananthapuram, or a construction worker from Kochi, or a migrant laborer from Assam in Ernakulam. Each of them is buying a small piece of hope. Each of them believes that one day that 40 rupees ticket will change their life, and maybe one day one of them will win. But the question is not whether they will win or not. The question is who designed the system, who's collecting the 31.2% tax, and who's getting the 1,368 crores in electoral bonds, who's printing the 1.8 crore tickets daily and putting your photo on the TV the moment you win, because the lottery is not a game of luck. The lottery is a transfer of wealth from the poorest people in our country to the state, to the political parties, and to one man in Coimbatore. And once in a while, when one person from the bottom briefly rises, the system just makes sure they fall harder than before. Just think about that the next time you see a lottery ticket. And if you're someone who wants to understand money and trading in a more informed way, check out the Bold Trades. I've added the link in my description and in the pinned comment.